Hey guys, it's Nicole over at Two Chicks Quilting here in Ganado, Texas, and I am here live for our Tuesday tips, tips and tricks with Two Chicks. I know we haven't been live the last couple of Tuesdays. We've been having classes the last couple of weeks on Tuesdays, so it's been hard to hop on here and get live with you guys. But we're here today to give you some tips and tricks over a couple of different things to get precise quilting habits, precise quilts, and to give you the best outcome possibly. So today we're going to talk just about these guys. So you can see this right here in front of me. Can they see that, Ashley? Yes. Okay, so what I have in front of me is different types of fabric starches or fabric treatment, different things that we use while we are quilting. The key thing is, though, is using these items properly. Now, I know after I got taught this and I started paying closer attention to what I'm doing and when I'm using my starch or fabric treatment, is when I started getting better outcomes from my block. Now, what I used to do was go through and cut all my squares or my fabrics for my blocks, start piecing them together, and then using the starch as I am pressing and piecing my blocks together. What I didn't know, which makes the huge difference, is starching my fabric before I ever even start cutting. Before I take that 1/4 of a yard fabric and turn it into 4-inch squares, I'm going to go ahead and starch it with any of my starches and go ahead and press that out. Now, you're asking, why do we do that? Well, for one, whenever we're putting that sizing or that starch to it, it's sizing that material. So if I have my 2 squares that are both 4.5 inches and I start putting sizing to it and then start moving it around, it can possibly shrink just a little bit because I'm putting moisture to heat. That's the first thing. So I might be losing 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch or something in there, so then it's not true to size anymore. Another reason I want to go ahead and starch it or size it while it's still that big chunk before I ever start cutting it down. For one, it gets rid of the wrinkles. 2, it starches it and makes it a little bit more stable. And 3, it helps keep it from stretching. So just to demo that really fast, I have just all kinds of different ones that we sell here at the shop. There is millions of them. I'm a little exaggerating, but there are really a lot of different fabric treatments and starches out there. You have to pick which one you like the best. We sell a couple of different ones here at the shop. I use all of them, but today I'm just going to use this one right here, the Magic Premium. We have their whole fabric or their whole spray line. So that's just the one that I chose today. And I'm going to demo with. So I have 2 4.5-inch fabric squares right here. And you see how they both flop pretty much equally. I'm going to set this one to the side, or you know what, I'll have Ashley hold it. And I'm going to work with this one right here. So I'm going to spray my starch on it. And then I'm going to take my iron and just press it. The steam. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to let that sit just for a second. Okay, right off the bat, you see when I pick this up how much stiffer it is. I mean, right off the bat. It has a little bit more weight to it, I think, and it's just easier to handle. So let me have that one back. So I have the one that I starched in my right hand and the one that I did not starch in my left hand. And I'm going to pick them up just like I did before. This one, you can see it's really droopy and just hanging loosely. This one, you see it's not flowing as much and it has a little bit more stiffness to it. Okay, this one I'm holding with 2 fingers and it's standing up straight. Oh, sorry, Ashley. It's standing up straight. This one I'm holding with 2 fingers and look how it's drooping on me. So which one would you have better control over, do you think? This guy right here. So it's not going to, it has that starch in it that's going to hold the fabric in place a lot better than one that's not sized and not starched. Okay, so that's why you always want to do that before you start cutting, to get the wrinkles out, to size it so you don't lose any sizing whenever you're cutting down, and you just have a nice crisper fabric to work with. Next, I want to talk about is those starch pins. So we like to use the fabric folding pen, and then we have the easy press pen. We do sell both of these. We have the refill of them and everything, and I use both of them just as much. So you're asking what these pens are. I use them for my everyday piecing quilts, and I like to use them in my In the Hoop project. Now, I will say in my In the Hoop project, it's hard to kind of sometimes get my little project iron in the hoop. So when I use this guy and just draw right on my seam, just like this, if I cannot get an iron to it and I just finger press it, it is like I took it to the iron and gives me that good crisp seam right in there. Now when I'm doing my piecing, I like to draw on my seam line and finger press it, and then I take my iron to it and just set it on top. When I do this way, I am not running the risk of stretching my fabric, and I get a really, really nice flat, crisp press in there. When I don't use my pen and I don't finger press ahead of time, this is what a lot of us do. We open a half square triangles and we push our fabric out, and now my half square triangle is all wonky because I pushed my fabric that way, I pushed it this way. Let me stretch it a little more that. Oh, I didn't get a good press, so let me grab this side and put a little tension on it. And now I just have a wonky half square triangle that I'm going to have to trim up. So that is the importance of using our sizing and starch and our starch pens whenever we're pressing and cutting and handling all our fabric. So short and sweet, but a very, very important thing to do with all your fabric first. Is there any questions, Ashley?
No, I think they're good.
Okay, guys, if you have any questions, need anything, just go ahead and give us a call. If not, send us a Facebook message or an email, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Bye, guys.